Hello to all of you from around the world. I want to welcome you to another edition of Soulivity Today, broadcasting live from our studio right here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and on KMET 1490 AM radio in Southern California. My name is Brian Westley Johnson, and we have a fantastic show coming up. I'm joined today by Soulivity editor-at-large, D'Angelo Thompson. Hello to you, my friend. How have you been?
Good morning, Brian. I'm great. How are you, my friend?
I'm really good. We were just kind of talking about a lot of the world events. We won't get into them, but just a lot going on. And so, I'm just sending out prayers and support and affirming that a lot of the events that are happening specifically in the Middle East are going to be resolved with some peace, ease, and grace. It's just a lot. It's just a lot going on.
Yeah,
What about you? Yeah, go
I
ahead.
would say human suffering is human suffering on both sides. So I don't want to see anyone's child, killed or bombed. I'll leave it at that. But and that's happening around the world, not just in the Middle East, but it's happening in many places.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who I was talking. I remember who I was trying to talk to about like this convergence of different things that's happening right now. I mean, there's some planetary alignments and that kind of thing that are happening that only happen, once every, 500-600 years or something like that. That there's a lot of energy things happening. Maybe we'll do a show about that at some point. Getting in touch with that, how to navigate yourself through it. But, we're going to support people today with this kind of show where we're kind of uplifting people. So I'm glad you're here.
Yes.
Perfect person to perfect person to have for this show. As I said, we have a fantastic show today. I wanted to begin today's show. I'll give you what the topic is in just a second, but I want to begin with this clip I found on YouTube from YouTuber Ben Lionel Scott. It's a great clip. So take a look.
The fruit of everything good in life begins with a challenge. Everything worthwhile is uphill. Your dreams are there, your hopes are there. Most people, they don't lead their life, they accept their life. Here's the issue. Most people, they have uphill hopes, but they have downhill habits. And you can't go uphill with downhill habits.
It's pretty easy to get the mindset that there's nothing you can do about it, that you're overwhelmed, that you can't change the world. Well, you know what you can change? You can change you. You can change your world. And if you change your world and you make yourself better and you make your part of the world better, the rest of the world will follow.
Good intentions are overrated. I know so many people, well, I'm going to do that. Yes, I think that's a good idea. I think I'm going to do that. So good intentions are the most overrated phrase in the world. Nothing happens until you've got good actions. And it's not going to come to you, and it's not going to fall in your lap, and it's not going to be something that, oh my gosh, it just was so simple. It's always going to be difficult.
Look, I'd love to sugarcoat this thing for you. I'd love to tell you, look, you can go out here and get rich, do a couple of things, they ain't happen. You got to get real doggish. You got to get downright funky if you want to make it.
Most of you won't be successful because when you're studying and you get tired, you quit. Weakness haunts us all. The times we could have done more. They eat at your self-esteem. They rob you of your self-respect. They diminish your belief in your potential. The true art of a full life is to minimize those moments when your weak thoughts win the battle and maximize your ability to rise and grind. Most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. And I'm here to tell you today, if you're going to be successful, rise and grind. If you want it to happen, get your butt up and make it happen. And sometimes if you're going to be successful, it's not how smart you are. It's not how strong you are. It's how much you can outlast stuff.
Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful. Start putting some pressure on. Put some pressure on yourself. Get out here and get about it.
Don't cry to give up. Cry to keep going. Don't cry to quit. You already in pain. You already hurt. Get a reward from it.
Some of y'all, you not getting close to the vision. You done said the vision and your mama said something about it, so you done backed off. You done said something about the vision and somebody tried to kill you and you done backed off. Are you hearing what I'm trying to tell you? I'm telling you that you gotta be possessed with the vision.
You want to make your dream come true, you got to stay focused. Some people rather get even than get ahead. Stay focused on where you want to go. I just kept on doing what I was supposed to do.
So you've got to work on it. When other folk are having a good time, you've got to have the strength of character to concentrate, to read, to digest information.
To be able at any moment to sacrifice what you are for what you will become. You have to give it everything you got. No more TV, no more parties, no more playing. What you need to be doing is studying.
While they was golfing, I was studying. While they was shooting hoops, I was studying. While they was playing games and sitting up and eating and joking in the restaurant, I was studying. You have to put your everything, your mind, your energy, your effort, your discipline. Nothing is going to jump out the fire if you don't throw something in there. It's not going to happen.
I got to commit my very being to this thing. I got to breathe it, I got to eat it, I got to sleep it.
You got to begin with the end in mind. So whatever your dream or your goal is, you got to wake up every day to it. You got to go to bed with it. You got to read stuff. The music you listen to, everything you do, got to pour into that dream.
You gotta stay focused on your dream. Don't allow anyone to pull you off the game plan.
When they're having fun, you grind. When they're chilling, you work your ass off. When they're getting lit, you put in more work. And when they're wishing for a better lifestyle, you'll be living it.
Woo!
How rough fall.
Can the church say amen? Can the church
Wow.
say amen?
I can say wow.
Yeah. I saw this video and I was like, woo, woo, woo. So today, we're gonna be talking about all this information you just kind of got to download on, which has to deal with developing a practice of focus.
Yes.
When we are trying to manifest our dreams into reality. And, D, it is definitely a process, right?
It is. It is for sure. I was thinking about Sunday, this past Sunday. I knew that I wanted to write. I knew I needed to edit 2 projects I'm working on. But I knew that I also needed to take a walk. I was like, D'Angelo, you haven't been exercising. Take about a, 1-2 mile walk, sit in the park, observe, have a cup of coffee, which is what I did. It was beautiful. And then I walked back home and I got to work. So have that focus, but also know when to take a break,
Right.
go within
Right.
and figure out what it is you need to accomplish.
And I know the clip that we just saw, and we posted the clip in the chat area so that you can check it out, read it, and that kind of thing. And we'll make sure that we put some of these links in the description of this video as well, so people can go to it. And I know some of it can be a little bit difficult to digest, right? Because I don't think that the video itself was saying there's no time to rest, there's no time to play, there's no time to enjoy and the some of the fruits of your labor as you go along the journey. What it's saying is it's just reiterating that focus is the key, and that the types of focusing, right, get you there, or get you to the points at which you're on your journey and then you're manifesting the dreams that you have. But the focus, the work of focus doesn't go away. It doesn't go away at all. Dale was going to ask you, just to kind of start off our conversation, when you'll be talking about the art of pivoting, which is part of this too, right?
Yes.
What kind of difficulties, do you remember like 1 or 2 times in your life where you really had difficulties focusing on your dreams, and what does that look like? Because I want to make sure that we're providing, this information to people from an empathetic path where, Yeah, I know I had them. What about you?
Oh
What
yeah.
was like one experience that you can share?
I can share two quickly. One
Okay.
was I was taking French lessons with a friend of mine, Katia Paulin. She's from Paris, and she was living in New York at the time. So I would meet her once or twice a week to go over, French lessons. Long story short, I found that every time I was meeting with her, I would unload things that were going on in my personal life, which cut
Wow.
into my lessons, my French lessons. And then one day I noticed how she was looking at me. And I thought to myself, I was like, D'Angelo, you're cutting out this time to learn. So going
Right.
forward, leave your stuff at home, whatever drama is going on, and focus on these lessons, So it helped a lot. Second
Right.
story is 2012, like for most people, it was tumultuous in my personal life with friendships. And I was just like, what is going on? It was hitting me from every angle. And then one day I said enough because I was writing my first book. This is 2011, 2012. I was like,
Right.
enough. I am distracted. These people are stealing my joy. I'm allowing them to steal my joy. And I'm going to clean house and I'm going to focus.
Mm,
Almost what,
okay.
4 or 5 books later, please hear me. When
Mm,
I cut that noise out of my life and also I focused on what I wanted to accomplish and still focus on what I want to accomplish, I don't go
right.
to every dinner party. I don't go to every invite. I don't go to play tennis when I really would love to. I focus on D'Angelo, you got to finish school. You got to write this article for Soulivity. You got
Right. Right.
to, whatever it is, And when I'm ready to go play, I go play. But it does not consume my time,
Right.
if that makes
Right.
sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know um early in my life, I was taught to be a people pleaser. I'm a reforming people pleaser. Yes, I'm Brian
Mhm.
Johnson and I'm a people pleaser. Um so I brought that into every conversation, in every dream, where my ultimate goal was, hey, why don't we all come together and we'll do this together and we'll, and we'll have kumbaya and consensus and da 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 da.
Mm.
And I'm telling you, y'all, that yes, it's a wonderful sentiment. And you do want teams. Like I have a great team, D'Angelo and Sheila and Teresa
Mhm.
and Tammy and Chanel and other people that are part of the collaboration. But at
Mhm.
the end of the day, your dream is your dream.
Yes.
It's not their dream. It's your dream. And so
Right.
you have to make the decisions around how you're going to do this, and that if people are down, they're down. If they're not down, they're not down. And there's nothing bad against those people and all that kind of stuff, but you got to keep moving. And so my difficulty was I was always trying to have this collaborative and this consensus model
Mm.
that just did not work. It just didn't work. It just didn't work. And so, again, I'm glad, Dee, that you're here because we're going to continue talking about this. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll get into like some steps and some things that I know, Dee, that you have done, things that I have done, and that this will be
Mhm.
supportive to all of you out there to keep you stay focused on manifesting your dreams today. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in about 2 minutes. Soulivity Today is brought to you by Happy Travelers Tours and Old Vine Wine Tours. You can find all of the Satana products at our Go Shop at go.soulivity.com.
Have you ever asked the question, if I was to be anything, what would I be? Regardless of money, regardless of status, beyond popularity and fame. Living your passion, feeling your life has purpose. Soulivity is a space to nurture that which lives in all of us. A place where work can become play, and doing what we love creates the dreams of a lifetime.
Hey there, we're back here with more of Soulivity today. We are talking about how to stay focused on your dreams today, how to, make sure that you're focused enough so you can manifest them. Soulivity editor Lars D'Angelo is back with us as well. Dee, as we're talking about this, and I think you were kind of alluding to this when you were talking about, some of the difficulties and challenges that you had to overcome. One of the first and most important practices is to stay focused. To stay focused is to keep thinking about your dreams and visualize them every single day. Such an important piece, right? I know in my life, one of the ways that I do that is, literally right over here is my treasure map and vision board. And I have, every single day, I literally have to trip over it to leave my office and that kind of thing. So it's always in my face. And again, we'll put some links on, about this, but it's a great way to do it. What about you, Dee? I mean, what's some of the ways that you take this to heart and you visualize your dreams?
Yes, visualization is very important. I have had many dream boards through the years. Most of it had to be around traveling or my books. I have stacks of books all around my apartment, always have. And I always envision my books within those stacks. Does that make sense?
So
as I write, I envision my book being done. I envision the cover. I envision it one day on the New York Times best-selling list, one of them or multiple ones of them. So it's the process to continue, it's the fuel, whatever I want to accomplish, degrees, et cetera, I actually see the paper with my name on it, or the check with my name on it, and I've done this since I was like 17 or 18, it's like writing a check to yourself, if it's 10,000, if it's $1 million, if whatever it is, just seeing that you're able to manifest it, and it's important visualization.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I think that when you are allowing yourself in your imagination about what it is like to experience your dream in the physical space, you're connecting with the energy in the universe and you're drawing to you the circumstances which support that dream becoming reality, right? Funny story, when I was a kid, we before the internet, what did we have? We had encyclopedias, right?
Yeah.
And so World Book, did you have World Book or did you have Encyclopedia Britannica?
I think we had World Book, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I loved those books because they had like all these different places around the world and they have pictures and that kind of thing. And you know how I love to travel. Well, that in part, that's just where it came from, where I would look through there and I would imagine that I was there. And You know what I mean? And so that process of imagining and feeling like, wow, what would it be like to be in London or Paris or Rome or Barcelona or, Greenland or whatever, New York, LA, whatever it is, what would it like to be there? And, fortunately in my life, I've done quite a bit of traveling. There's more that I want to do. There's more people I want to meet. There's more
Yes.
Awareness I want to have around culture. But here's another way where you're honing in your belief system that this is possible, right? I mean, I think that's where it kind of gets to, right? I mean, it's about your belief system.
It's your belief system, and it's also surrounding yourself with people that
Yeah.
have the same belief system and that are go-getters, that love to travel. You can share stories about London or Paris or wherever you want to go in the world, Senegal,
Right.
you name it. I've hit my bucket list twice, so I have a third bucket list or fourth that I'm working on.
All right.
Part
I
of
love that.
part of that is going to Asian countries and African countries and really,
Yes.
connecting on a deeper level.
I think that's our next. So we definitely want to do Africa, and we definitely want to do Asia. But the point both of us are trying to make is to everyone out there, listen, our enthusiasm and us talking about this is not from, I hope to do this. D'Angelo and I are going to go to these places.
Period.
We're definitely going to go to these places because we have the belief that we're going to do this, right? And that the universe is going to support us in doing this. So the important part in this very first step is practice that. Think about your dreams. Don't be shy. Think about them, visualize them. Do a Google search on treasure maps or vision boards and create this for yourself. Just test it out. I'm sure if you test it out, you're going to have some really, really positive results. And I'm sure that there's like parties and stuff like that are all around in every city around the world that are doing vision board parties and stuff like that. So it's an important step. I know that this can be tough for some people sometimes where you're kind of like, I really want this dream to come true and all that. This is the work that you need to do to get you from A to Z, and then A to Z again, because it's a journey, and that you're gonna practice manifesting over and over and over and over and over again, and you'll get to different levels of mastery as you do this. So highly recommend that you do this. Dee, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about this next statement, which is something that I think is really, really important, but I think gets kind of thrown out sometimes, and that is the power of affirmations. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
6 years ago, when I started Soulivity, my vision was to support everyone in improving their life through the discovery of their passion and purpose, so they could become the best version of themselves, to battle fear and ignorance, and create a better world today. Get inspired to live your passion and purpose. Visit Soulivity.com now.
Do you see me kneeling on this dual roller called Parasetter? It's actually comfortable because of this channel and the softness of the special foam. It feels like my kneecaps are being massaged. When I lie down, my spine is housed in this channel, while the convex rollers massage my muscles. They let go and lengthen. There's a traction effect from my head on the headrest and my mid-back from the rib wrap, which hugs me. When I start the breathing sequence, I feel calm because my cortisol levels are dropping. Lower cortisol means bye-bye constant hunger. Parasetter is 40 inches long and much more comfortable than old-style rollers, but it weighs only 10 ounces. Parasetter, just like Pilates was, is no longer an insider secret. Do yourself a favor. Reset your parasympathetic nervous system. Defeat stress. Lying, sitting, kneeling, or standing. This unique patented roller helps everyone.
Hey, we're back with more of Soulivity today. We're talking about how to stay focused on your dreams today. D'Angelo's back with us as well. Just want to remind everybody that you can get your Parasetter by visiting our link that's in our chat or going to physicalmindinstitute.com. Yeah, you know, I know you do this, D'Angelo, because you've told me that you do it. And that is you use affirmations to keep you stay focused. So we're going to be talking next about, you know, one of the practices is to keep you stay focused is keep repeating in your mind words and sentences that keep you inspired and motivated. And again, these are called affirmations. What are some of the affirmations you tell yourself, D'Angelo?
There's a few, but I'll start with gratitude. Gratitude is definitely something that I continuously do every morning. Every time I get up, I tend to be grateful for. So that's one. The second one is I am successful beyond my wildest dreams. I'm successful beyond my wildest dreams, you know? And the third would be when people are around me and they're gossipy and negative or the evil eye, I will not put a wall up, but I will let the universe know, protect me. I need my angels around me to keep me focused. That word again, focused and protected. Protected. Yes.
I love it. I love it.
No.
You know, we were just watching this weekend something about you know, vibing and speaking into existence the life that you want to have. And it was from Unity of Washington, D.C. Reverend Sylvia Sumner was talking about this. And I want to share it in this context of these affirmations, right? Because we can say the words, right? We can repeat these words, we can say them. And for some people, they actually activate, right? Because some people know how that feels for them. But other people need to anchor in themselves what the feeling of the words are first.
Right.
So that when they say them, they can feel them. Because that's the secret to the affirmations, everybody. You want to say the words, you want to repeat the words and have them be, these phrases or even mantras that you're saying on a consistent basis. But as you're saying them, you want to make sure that you have the feeling in them and that you're putting some power behind it. So like D'Angelo, when you were just talking about yours, I could literally feel the energy behind what you're saying. Like there's no separation between your brain speaking the word and your heart feeling the words, right? You know?
You know, it's interesting. And I taught a class last week, and one thing I mentioned in the class was words. Words, whether they're written or spoken, are very powerful. And how you speak to yourself, as well as how you speak to others, is very powerful. So I speak to myself, not that I'm not critical of myself at times, I'm human, but I intentionally give myself love, kindness, grace. If I don't do something when I say I'm going to do it, I'm like, D'Angelo, you're tired today. It's okay. You can do it later or you can do it tomorrow. Just give yourself grace. So speak to yourself in a loving way, in an affirmative way, and a proactive way.
I love it. I love that, man. I just want to I'm really quote unquote harping on this one because it is so important that you are, because what's happening is with affirmations, you're reprogramming your brain.
Yes.
When we come into this world, it's all about fight or flight. We're trying to protect ourselves from harm, right? And so we always kind of have our dukes up, or we're ready we got our tennis shoes on and we're ready to run away.
I love that.
You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
it's like when we're trying to manifest our dreams, like the great speech from Nelson Mandela talks about, where our greatest fear isn't that we aren't powerful. Our greatest fear is actually, I'm paraphrasing, our greatest fear is that we actually are powerful and beyond measure. Right. And so you got to step into it. So you got to reprogram yourself in thinking about life, living, what's possible, how you feel about yourself, who you are. I mean, how many times have we woken up saying, I'm tired, or, I'm lazy, or all this other chatter that's behind it. So this is the way to kind of edge all that stuff out and let spirit come in and tell and affirm for yourself the goodness and greatness and love that you have for yourself, and affirm again what outcomes could be. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Wow.
It's
powerful.
Yeah.
Very
I mean, this is good stuff. And it may feel a little weird in the beginning. It's part of the process, y'all. It's
Right.
part of the process, repeating these words and doing that kind of thing for yourself will feel a little weird because you're reprogramming yourself, right?
Yes.
To all this whole experience. So, again, I'm glad you're here, man, because you're the perfect person to talk to this about, because you're doing this work and I'm doing this work, right?
Yes.
And it's important, and we're reaping benefits from it.
It's
You don't
very
just do
true.
the work. You just don't do the work and not get anything. So just
Yeah.
want to make sure
Yeah.
people understand that. You do get stuff, and you get stuff almost immediately.
You know what,
It's like
Brian,
crazy.
what's interesting, Brian, is that you encouraged me in 2020 to start a blog, a podcast, talk more. And I was very apprehensive, and then I finally did it. And almost 3 years later, almost 4 years later now, it's opened me up to doing more public speaking. It's opened me up to sharing my thoughts and articles on Soulivity, and actually just engaging more creatives and helping them pursue their dreams as well. So thank you for that.
Oh no, you are absolutely welcome. And listen, your inspiration, it comes right back. Your inspiration to me, because as you do stuff and you're out here doing it, it's inspiring me to do more as well, and to stay on the track, because sometimes you just need inspiration just to keep walking your walk, right? So thank you. Right back at you, bro. Listen, we're going to take another quick break, and we're going to talk more about this. We got one more tip for you, so stay there, and we'll be back with more of Soulivity Today. Soulivity Today is brought to you by Assume control over your weight and broader health with the 80 Bites program by Physical Mind Institute.
For 50 years, we've been told, load up your plate with veggies. Load them up. Because all this spinach, look at it, all the spinach is only 100 calories. But avoid fat, because a tiny sliver of butter is also 100 calories. So spinach is good, butter is bad, right? But not today. Now we're told, put butter on everything, even in your coffee. Why? Because fat doesn't spike insulin, as carbs do. And stretching the stomach with all those veggies unbalances our digestive hormones. So eat healthy today means fat, fasting, stomach control, right here's the stomach. Forget calories. Hormones rule, and 80 Bites is the solution.
You can find out more information about the 80 Bites program by clicking the link that's in the chat places there, or by going to soulivity.com/Soulivity today. It is absolutely free, y'all. I just want to repeat that. It is absolutely free to utilize. So go check it out. Go check it out. Listen, we're back. We're talking about how to stay focused on your dreams. Soulivity editor at large, D'Angelo Thompson, is with us, and want to try to get to our last tip, which is, again, all these things kind of like work together as concentric circles. So, of course, we talked about first about think about your dreams and visualize them every day. So this includes things like creating a treasure map or even writing stuff down in a journal. Because like D'Angelo, you were saying, writing is just as powerful as speaking, right? You're bringing it into the physical world. Next is repeating words and phrases that keep you inspired and actually motivated, which are things like mantras and affirmations. Make sure that as you're doing this, to bring the feeling of what those words are into it. So if you say, I am courageous, how does that really feel for you? And repeat those every single day, several times a day. It doesn't matter. You could be in a meeting. You could be saying, I am inspirational. I am motivated. I am transformative. Whatever those words are, repeat them. And next, the last tip we're going to give you today is practice concentration exercises to improve your focus, as well as control your mind and increase your attention span. And D'Angelo, when I think about this piece, I'm thinking about meditation, right? For me, meditation is it, and I meditate at least twice a day, with another period where I just do nothing but visualization. I bring into the feeling and I visualize in my mind that world that I'm living in and what the feeling is. What about you? I know you meditate, but are there some other things that you do?
It's interesting. I don't meditate as much as I used to. I just lay still.
Shame on you.
It's okay. I just lay still, and in my stillness, I'm able to manifest and also know where I need to put my energy. Sometimes it's helping others. It's not just about the D'Angelo story. It's also about helping other people in their story.
Absolutely.
So that's where I get my answers, in my silence, and you can call it meditation. I don't call it meditation per se, because I just lay still. And if I'm by the water, especially, ideas flow and intention flows. So that's my meditation, if you will, is getting near a river or an ocean or a natural form of water coming from somewhere, even a lake.
Absolutely. As you were talking about that, I could feel that. And I'm reminded that like one of the most powerful prayers and meditations is peace, be still, right? Peace, be still. Where you're inviting that energy to come into your present moment through stillness, and that you're creating peace, and that peace isn't just to let people know, the peace isn't just, oh well, there's just silence and there's nothing happening. Peace resonates throughout your entire life. So if you want peace in finances, peace in your personal relationships, peace in your professional relationships, peace in the process of manifestation, all that's part of it. So when you're asking for peace, you're bringing that in there as well, right? I mean, really, 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 really important aspect of all this, because we're bringing all these different things together,
right? That
supercharge the process of creating and manifesting things for yourself. Dee, I was going to ask you, what was the most surprising thing you've ever manifested? Like where you were kind of thinking about something one day, and then either that same day or whatever, that thing manifested, or something that was important around that thing manifested for you. Do you have a quick story you can tell?
Yeah, I do. I was seeing a teacher, quote unquote, a spiritual teacher, and I was talking to him about something. He said, you know what you need to do? You need to do a mikvah. I was like, what kind of mikvah? He's like, you need to make a donation You know, how much money you have in your account? I told him the amount. He's like, write a check for this amount. He said $500. I was like, okay. I did it because I was like, you know what? I have to release this into the universe.
Right,
And
right.
within hours, I got an email that I had been nominated for my first daytime Emmy. Keep in mind, that was not on my radar. That was not on my radar. It was not something I necessarily said, oh, I want an Emmy or an Oscar or this or that or the other. None of that. You know, but I saw the energy around it from letting go, doing charity, a mikveh, to release, you know, and it was very, and I do that often now when I'm worried about something. I'm like, let me donate some money somewhere. You know, I just did it recently and I was like, you know what? It's not a lot, but I'm going to donate some money somewhere. So I learned that you can give energy to things that you may not even be aware is in your sphere, your radar, but it gives it energy and it opens up the possibilities. So there you go. What about you?
Well, similar in terms of release, because I think it's all about the fear that you may have. You got to let that go and you got to surrender. And so I was living in Houston at the time. I had did this treasure map. I was doing different things around the life that I wanted to have. I knew that I wanted to leave Houston. I wanted to move to DC where I live now. And I had written out this perfect job, like what all the aspects of this perfect job would be. And months were going by and I would get, weeks were going by and I would get like a piece of it here and a piece of it there. And it would never, those jobs would never work out where I would be hired. And I'll never forget, I was talking to my dear friend, John Hardesty. Hey, John. And we were talking about this and he said, well, what are you afraid of? I was like, and I had never thought about it that way. I was like, what am I afraid of? And I was like, am I really afraid? And as I was honest with myself, I said, yeah, I was afraid. I was afraid of what would happen if I actually, this happened and I failed.
Right.
And he was like, he's like, let that go. He said, let that go. He said, let it go, let it go. And I cried right then and there. I cried because I was like, wow, I'm really afraid of failure. And so I let it go. And that day, that same day, this is a Sunday, that same day I went online because I was just led to go online and I was led to apply for this position that I had seen before. And just bear with me, everybody, because I'm getting to the story, getting to the end of the story. 8:30 the next day, my phone rings. It's that company responding back to the job that I applied for. And we go through the initial recruiter interview, and they're like, oh, this is great. I told them all of my qualifications. And then the miraculous thing, because you would think that, I'm thinking that everybody's thinking, oh, well, you got hired for that job, for that specific job. No, that's not what happened. The recruiter actually said, hey, there's this other position that we've been trying to fill for 6 months. Would you be interested in, just at least taking a look at the job spec? I said, sure. So she said, just hang on, I'm going to email it to you. She emailed it to me. I looked it over. Every single thing that was on my treasure map was in that job spec.
Hello.
4 weeks later, I was in DC working. They relocated me to DC. It was a full package, everything that I wanted. And then 6 weeks later, I was leading my one of my teams in Europe, which I wanted to have. I wanted to have this internet. So believe me, y'all, the one great lesson, and there's more about that story that I'll tell at some other point, but releasing and getting into that feeling and letting these processes work and just kind of surrendering to them will reap benefits beyond anything that you can possibly think of.
Yes.
You can possibly think of. So do it. So do it. And you got me and D'Angelo here to co-sign on its effectiveness for you. D'Angelo, great. I'm glad that you were here with me for this one.
Yeah. Someone took a break and I was able to step in. So it's perfect.
While we got time, why don't we get into our shameless plugs for the day? Dee, you've got this fantastic workshop that's coming up just in a few weeks. Can you tell people about this marvelous, darling, marvelous, this marvelous workshop on the art of pivoting?
You know, I'm really fast normally when I pitch it to people, but it's really about a 3-hour workshop and going within and removing roadblocks. And anyone who's taken this class will tell you that it works. And sign up today. It's October 30th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., so 3 hours. And I have a code for you guys. Student 2023, you'll get $50 off. So student 2023, you get $50 off. So it's $100 instead of $150. So sign up.
Wow. I'm putting the code in our chat for 50% off the price. Student 2023. That's fantastic, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, someone asked me to do it last night. I was like, you know what? I'm going to share. I actually added it to our chat too, Brian.
Fantastic. That's great. Listen, I just got a couple of plugs for people. First and foremost, just want to remind people that the next Joy Keepers Cafe is coming up soon, and I'll clear this up so that people can actually see it. See if I can get this cleared up real quick. Actually, so the next Joy Keepers Cafe is going to be on October, I believe it's going to be on October the 27th. I think that's correct. If I'm right, if I'm counting my Wednesdays. It's the third Wednesday of this month. It's absolutely free. Just go to joykeepers.org/cafe and you can learn more information about it. You can register. It's free. It's actually recorded too. Our own Sheila Applegate is going to be leading us in a meditation, and then there's like some discussion and communing after that about what the meditation was out. So it's really, really fun. It's really something cool to check out. Also, just go to our Soulivity.com page. There's some great information. We're about to publish some great stories from D'Angelo as well. And you can learn a lot about, different things. 3 great ways to be more intimate with your partner is a great article that we just published. I'm patting myself on the back for that one. Also, you can watch Soulivity TV, which is our streaming channel, which is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All our shows are rebroadcast there, so you want to check that out as well. Also, follow us on social media, where you can learn more about what's happening with Soulivity, some tips, some how-tos. We always kind of post interesting information to help keep you inspired and motivated today. We want to help you create that best life. I want to say thank you to you, D'Angelo, for being here. Another fantastic show with you. I'm getting 4 days. I'm getting like almost a whole week with you this week.
Right.
Sheila Applegate will be back next week, and then I think Teresa will be back next week as well.
Perfect.
Got some great guests coming up. Tomorrow is our Wellness Wednesday show, so you want to stick around for that, where we give you great stories from around the world in health and wellness, so you don't want to miss that. Any final thoughts, Steve, before we get out of here?
Just everyone step into your day with intention and purpose. And thank you for listening.
Oh, wow. I love that. I guess my last thing is make sure that you utilize all these resources to help you create your best life today. This is what it's for. We're just not doing this just for our own health. We're doing it to support you. Passion is what you love to do. Using your passion to serve as your purpose. And then that'll help you create your best life today. So listen, Just want to remind you that we're here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern time for our live broadcast. You can also listen to us Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific time on KMET 1490 AM radio out in Southern California for all of you guys on the West Coast. We're so glad that we partnered with them because we want to make sure that this information is being distributed to as wide and as many people as possible, because that's our purpose. We want to help you stay inspired so that you can have a life full of high quality living. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to talk about before we get out of here.
I
I guess
we shared
not.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did good. I think we did good, D.
Wow. Yes, we did.
Anyway, again, thanks to you for being here. We hope that we provided you with some fantastic information that's going to help you not only make it through your day, but make it through your week with some power and some inspiration, because that's what Soulivity Today is about. We want to empower you every day. And so on behalf of everybody here at Soulivity, thanks again for being here. We hope that you come back and watch us again tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that and the weeks after that. Make sure you go check out our sponsors at soulivity.com/Soulivity-today. Old Vine Wine Tours and 80 Bites. They're providing some inspirational and powerful tools to help you, live a better life today too. So thanks again. This is Brian Wesley Johnson, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
This work is subject to copyright owned by Affinity Global LLC. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this is expressly prohibited unless Affinity Global LLC has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved. Six years ago, when I started Soulivity, my vision was to support everyone in improving their life through the discovery of their passion and purpose, so they could become the best version of themselves, to battle fear and ignorance, and create a better world today